Hello there, it's Sound and Vision ASMR, and let me tell you, it's been a while since I've last said that. I'm back today with a little bit of an update video. I'm not really going to be doing any particular triggers or anything sort of show and tell in particular, but I've just set up my camera facing me on my desk here, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of an update as to what's going on. It's been like 10 months since my last video, so I guess quite a lot's happened, and maybe if you were a regular listener you'd be wondering what's kind of occurring, so I thought I'd give you a little bit of an update and tell you sort of what I've been getting up to and what I hope to be getting up to, both in real life and on this channel here. So I'll kind of crack on with it. If I'm sounding a bit sort of robotic and efficient, I've sort of planned roughly what I want to get through. I have a notepad here. You know I'm a fan of my notepads and bits of paper. This particular one usefully informs us that it used to be a juice carton. Hopefully that's the right around. I've got a bit of a different setup today, which I'll talk about a bit later, but hopefully you can read that. Used to be a juice carton. So I've just noted down a few little bits on here, which I'll just try and talk about as we go through. Shouldn't be too much of a long video, but I'll get right down to it. So the first point of interest on this little meeting is what I've been up to. So in the 10 months since I made my last video, I've been at uni. Just finished my second year in the UK at uni. I think the last video I made was again in summer last time, after my first year, and I even did a little room tour of my sort of halls uni accommodation in first year. So now I've moved into a house in the city which I'm studying, so that's all going fine. That kind of explains, I suppose, why I haven't made as many videos, though I'm always hesitant to use that as an excuse, because obviously it would be so easy just to pick up this camera and sort of point it like I'm doing now and just do some whispering or some reading of something. But the fact is, I just don't really think about it when I'm at uni. It's kind of a different mindset. Whenever I come back here, which is my sort of parents' house, my childhood home, I sort of think back into the sort of ASMR kind of making mood. But at uni it just doesn't really cross my mind. So like I said, it's not an excuse, but it's yeah, that's the case that I just don't really think about doing it. While I talk now, also I have this drink here, just some squash, but in this fancy swirly cup I got yesterday, which I'll be drinking from to keep my mouth and throat kind of nice, not too dry. It's summer here, obviously, in the UK and all of the Northern Hemisphere, so it's kind of hot. I had the window open, which I've just closed to not get any background noise, but it's surprisingly hot for the weather here in England, so I am kind of making the most of it. Well, in the sense that I'm sat inside my room staring at a screen, but hopefully I'll get outside a bit later. So the next point on my lovely planned out list here is actually talking about my new room. I never really sort of showed you around my home room here when I initially made videos, so it's not like it would be any different to you, to be honest. But since being at uni this year, my parents have redone my room, so it's now a bit nicer and modern. I've currently got my camera here set up on my desk, which is now a much bigger desk that I can use for doing uni work and just generally when I'm back home. So yeah, in my next couple of videos, if I make some more, you might see a bit more of my surroundings, just a bit more newer and stuff like that. Nothing much more to say there, just if you sort of recognise the background, it's all a bit newer. So that does bring me on the sort of elephant in the room, I guess, is whether I am going to carry on with this channel. It's been 10 months, which, if you sort of follow me, fair enough if you thought I sort of wasn't carrying on, because it's a long time. But I do hope to carry on sort of ticking over slightly. It's certainly not a sort of reinvention of this channel. I'm not going to suddenly start putting out weekly videos or anything like that. But overall, I hope to maybe make a few more over this summer. I have a little bit of a plan. In fact, this was just going to be an update sort of video to tell you what's going on. Now, after this video, I'm going to try and make one right now, possibly a whisper reading video. And I kind of want to compare setups. Right now, I'm using, this is going to get just sort of techie and a bit boring, but I'll go with it. Right now, I'm using my phone, as you can see here, to record this. I'm actually using my front-facing camera, so it gets a little bit of a worse image quality, but it will make it quicker for me to upload. And it also means I can see exactly the edges of the screen and follow exactly what I'm doing. And also, you can see I've got the mic here. That's the next thing I'll get into. Instead of using the camera's microphones on the side here, I'm at the moment using this dynamic mic, which is just, should be able to hear me playing around with the guard. This mic is just a sort of normal stage microphone, the kind if someone was performing, you just have like in your hand. So it's not exactly designed for picking up kind of recording quality audio, but I find it works better than my phone on the most part. Now, for the last 5 or 6 videos on my channel, I have actually used my phone audio, and the benefit of that is that it does actually have 2 mics on it, on either side, so I can get a bit of a binaural effect using my phone, which is pretty nifty, which I obviously can't replicate with this one microphone here. So what I'm probably going to do is record a whisper reading video with this mic, possibly in this exact same setup for all I know. And then I'll try another one, some kind of sound trigger video at some point, using this, just my phone audio, those 2 microphones built in. And I'd be very keen to know if people do want to interact and get in touch, which ones they prefer. Personally, for me, the phone is a lot easier to use because I can upload a video straight from the phone essentially to YouTube without having to edit it at all, if I do it without any cuts or anything like that. So it's a lot more easier for me to use. However, I do think, despite being binaural, the mics on the phone just aren't as good as this sort of cheap dynamic mic. You just get a bit more sort of background buzz, a bit more static sound. I think that's partly due to the fact that I just keep my phone in my pocket, so there's a build-up of dust and stuff in those mics, so it's just a little bit more muffled compared to this mic. So I should, if everything goes to plan, be releasing a video soon after this, and then another one. So you should expect 2 new videos from me, 2 different setups with those videos. So I'd be really keen to find out what you think about them. Definitely comment below any suggestions as well. I mean, always say it at the end of a video if you have any requests for me to do or any kind of ideas or feedback. Part of the reason I like doing this is hearing back from people about what they thought, interacting with people that have watched my videos. I don't love making ASMR videos so much that I do them even if I didn't have an audience. Like with my music, I sort of try and write songs and do little production bits and put it on kind of SoundCloud, stuff like that. And to be honest, not a lot of people listen to them, but because I love making music and stuff like that, I never really mind. But certainly when it comes to ASMR, the main sort of fun of it for me is interacting with people and knowing that people are getting some kind of enjoyment out of this weird whispering business. So basically, kind of what I'm saying is I'll be more inclined to make more videos over this summer if people kind of get in touch and say that's what they want. I know, not sort of being really needy and calling for like, oh, tell me, let me know how much you love me kind of thing, but just more kind of, if you fancy seeing more videos, just let me know. I'll definitely be more inclined to put some effort into making some. So that's basically what I wanted to tell you. That's all there is. Nothing exciting particularly happening. There's no big reason why I've been away for going on a year. Just sort of haven't really been at the top of my priorities. The other thing I quickly wanted to mention before I sort of start recording another video, maybe a whisper one, is just sort of what ASMR I've been listening to recently, which I think is always kind of interesting. I always like hearing recommendations when it comes to music or sort of anything, films and stuff like that. So why not recommend some ASMR that I've been listening to? That's what I thought originally, but as you can see, well, I've got it noted down on my notepad here. I've been listening to or watching quite a lot of just mainstream ASMR. So some of my favourites recently have been GB ASMR, I think it's called, and ASMR Darling. So they're quite just sort of some of the biggest sort of female ASMR artists that I've just been sort of listening to a lot of, just because they sort of pop up right at the top when I sort of search for basic kind of ASMR kind of search terms. Other than that, actually one slightly less known but still pretty mainstream ASMR artist is Southern Sounds ASMR. For some reason I've really been enjoying her kind of southern US twang on words, particularly ones when she's got the kind of little pointy thing and going over like different leaflets and circulars, like things like Aldi and little kind of newspaper articles and adverts. For some reason that really appeals to me, just sort of relaxed, kind of looking over different offers and sort of going, oh, that's a good sort of discount or something. So there's something about some of her videos that I've been really enjoying. So that's all I can contribute to that. Not very insightful, but if you've been listening to or any ASMR artists that you've been particularly enjoying, I'd be really keen to learn about some of them. I'd definitely like to check them out. Any people that you think I'd enjoy, definitely comment below. But other than that, that's kind of all these ticked off. I'll go through and yeah, that's basically it. So I think I'll leave the video there. It's a decent length. Do keep in tune to my channel. If you're subscribed already, should have 2 more videos coming up. And if not, maybe subscribe if you've liked it. And I'll be seeing you very soon, fingers crossed. Until next time, goodbye and good night. See ya.